I don't know how long this is going to be. I'm just going to go with the spirit. Anyway, I'm going to entitle. This is going to be a two-part topic, or two-part title. The first title is it's a waste of time to debate with a Christian, or it's a waste of time to debate with Christians. I'll see what I'll put in there, and the actual title. And the second part of the title of this video is Godlogic is a celebrity Christian. So I don't know if y'all kept up with this. Godlogic apologist, Godlogic versus Captain Tazariak. Is Jesus God, meaning the Father? And no, he's not. He's a God. He's a power. He gets his orders. He was sent by the Father to do his will. He's not God. He's not the Father. Okay, so this is the video. All right, Godlogic versus Captain Tazariak. Is Jesus God? Now look how many views. Ain't no Israelite group got views like this. Outline it. You got almost hard to see. Okay, you got 115,000, almost 116,000 views. IUIC doesn't get those views. Sakari doesn't get those views. ISUPK doesn't get. None of the Israelite gets views like this. I'm talking about a video that you put up a day or two ago. So you got a lot of lost Israelites out there that believe that they're Christians and they're following this guy. And this guy is basically full of himself. I'm not saying he's not sincere. I don't know the individual, but you know, when you get these type of numbers right here, you're gonna feel yourself. You're gonna pat yourself in the back, and you're gonna say to yourself, "I'm not doing anything wrong." That pride takes over. But let me see. Okay, so he rolls up on two Israelite brothers that they follow GMS, but they're not a part of GMS. Hebrew Israelites get silenced by one Christian. Well, there's two. Come on now. Look at that. Over 100,000 views. Let me see. And they get into going up against the Muslim community, where they don't get too. Wait a minute, this is 4 days ago. Okay, when they go up against the Muslims, they don't get too many hits. But Israel is the buzzword. You know, when you use Israelite, Hebrew Israelite, oh, I gotta watch that. Okay. Now this is what I did. Oh, before I got up, I had to move my car. So I'm talking to the super and this guy. I guess he's a technical guy in my building, and they were talking about Ukraine and Russia. And the super was saying that, yeah, how can Russia be that strong? They can't even deal with Ukraine. And I just let him have it, and I gave him the backstory. And they were real. They got quiet. They got quiet. I was telling them shit that was going over their head. I used the term mad. Y'all know what that is, mad, mutually assured destruction. And then I said there is going to be a WW3. In about 10 minutes, the super just got up and left. He didn't say bye. No, he just got up and left. Then about 2 minutes later, the other guy just got. They were both. I said, look, I'm gonna open up on these people. When I tell them the truth, I'm gonna open up on them. Which reminds me of back in the 90s. We were going to different colleges, and one of the brothers, I believe Zahab was behind it, but he fell off years ago. He's probably dead. So he had set up something, so I was supposed to speak there, and it was myself and a handful of brothers that came out. Yashawan, I think, came out. So we went to the college, and there was Jake in there, and there was Edomites in there. There was maybe 90% Jake and 10% Edomites. And I guess some of the Edomites were professors or whatever. So, and they do that because, when Jake gets together and they have a meeting, they have an Edomite spies in there to find out what are we talking about. So they sat down and I opened up, and I started slow. I was going to the scriptures, building up, and Jake just kept interrupting and saying, "You're wrong on that. I'm a Baptist," and this. They just kept not seeing it, and I was going easy on them. Then I said, "F it." I said, "Let me open up on these people." Like one of them said, "Well, why should we follow the scriptures and become an Israelite? What's the big deal?" I said, because Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed. Yeah, I used the A word. It's going to be utterly destroyed. And all them Jakes got up and left. Every last one of them got up and left, but the Edomites stayed. So some of the Edomites were kind of going back and forth, and they got up and left one by one. Because I got raw on them. I said, I'm going to get raw on these motherfuckers right now. Now, the guys that went with me, they all turned their back on me. Because they were like mad at me because these guys are really trying to make money. These dudes that was putting this college thing together, they were trying to do it to make money. I didn't do it to make money. I came to spread this truth, and I got raw on them. And then even when we got back, they wasn't talking to me or nothing like that. And then every last one of them is back in the world. Every last one of them is back in the world. And they fell out the truth years ago. Yeah, one of them, Rahab, he committed adultery with a Barak from the HODC, and everybody knew Barak was dealing with that woman because they used to, after camp, they used to go to the train or whatever they went to hand in hand. So everybody knew that was that's his woman. So this guy, Rahab, talked to her, and all of a sudden they have sex, and then when we said, well, what the hell happened? And he said, I didn't know that they were dealing with each other. I said, that's fucking bullshit. Because everybody knew that they were together. But now that was a time when the leadership was weak. They had, let me tell you the truth about the main school. It got out of order. It got real out of order. It got out of order. There was really no leadership, all right? So my thing was, if I got to do a class, I'll do the class, and I'll go out speaking, and that's pretty much it. I'm not going to hang around these guys too much. They're playing cards and, not dominoes, but cards and chess and all that, and, they were like getting weak, man. So my spirit, I said, and there was a lot of councils and a lot of shit going on, and I wouldn't even come around because there was a lot of bullshit going on, and there was a couple of times where adultery happened and the leadership liked the guy and let him slide, let him deal with the woman, and I even confronted him on that shit, And then they would call. I said, man, you know what? That's when I started dealing with Connecticut, and then the camp that I was over, about 50 some odd men. Them guys were all fucking lukewarm. They were mediocre guys. There was nothing special about these guys, and they didn't grow. Even Apostle Ramlop said that if you learn this truth, he said that yesterday with a video he did. If you ain't growing in this truth, then there's a problem. So I saw that. I said these guys are not even. They're just there, The only guys that's left out of them 52 men that the camp that I was dealing with was Apostle Gabar and Bishop Nathaniel. Those are the only two left that are talking about the Israelites, going out and teaching and so forth. All the rest of them guys all went back in the world. Most of them is probably dead. But like I said, when I went up to Connecticut, I kind of said I abandoned that. I said fuck these niggas, man. These niggas ain't going. I had a Joe Clark spirit. I said, since you're not going to graduate anyway, you are all expurgated. You may now leave. Joe Clark put that school in New Jersey back. put it back in order, but he had to put his foot down. He was former military. I think he was a Marine. So they made a movie about him. And so anyway, let me get back into this. So what I did was I said, let me go to Godlogic, and I got to watch the rest of this right here argument. I wouldn't even debate about something like this. But because it's easy to show, why did the Lord said, I do the will of him that sent me? Well, who sent him? He sent himself. Well, who took him off the cross? He took himself off the cross. Why did he say, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Who was he talking to? Was he talking to himself? And then he said, no one knows the end except the Father. No one, the angels, not the angels, including himself. He don't know when the end gonna come. So how can he be the Father and the Son at the same time? So you come to the conclusion that these Christians are fucking stupid, So this is what I did. I said, you know what? Let me see where this guy's gonna go. This is why it's stupid for Israelites to debate anybody. We're just there to lecture. We're just there to tell you what's up. Hey, if there's a train that stops in the middle of stops, the conductor tells you what to do. You don't question it. Well, brother, I used to, I don't believe. No, the conductor says, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna get off here. We're gonna walk to the next station. I signal them, no trains will be coming, so you don't got to worry about it. If somebody's bucking up against it and people follow them, that's confusion. So, we're the guys that's at a bridge that fell, and we're putting our hands up to stop the people to keep going because they're going to fall off the bridge. And the ones that don't listen, what happens? They go right off of that bridge. And that happened in Connecticut, 95. I remember when it happened. And Apostle Gabar tells this story because there was one guy that saw the bridge collapse, and I took that bridge many a times, and he saw cars going down, and he stopped, and then what he did was he said, well, let me turn around, get out the car, and wave my hand and stop these people from going because they're going to die. So there's one truck driver going, and he's waving his hands, and the truck driver gives him the finger. And then what happens? The truck driver goes down and he dies. This was good for his fucking ass. So when we're dealing with Jake and they can't get it, look at them like as that truck driver that gave you the finger and let them motherfuckers crash and burn. And I'm finding out through talking to them two individuals, Super and the technical guy. I said, in my mind, I was like, because you could see that their eyes started bucking. And they said, no, I can't deal with this shit. Neo. Remember Neo? When this guy, Morpheus, showed him the truth. He said, this is the real world. And he showed the destruction. And he said, no, I can't take it. And he threw up on himself. And it took him a while to realize that he was the one. And Morpheus, which means change or transform, he was transforming him into him being the one. Because he said that's the one. Now, it was a Jake woman that came up with that thing and they stole it. But anyway, this guy was slated to play Neo. This guy, Will Smith, and Will Smith turned it down. He shouldn't have turned it down, but he turned it down any damn way. And but both of them blew up, Will Smith and Keanu Reeves. But that's the role that really put Keanu on the map big time. That was a major, that shot him up. He was already up there, but that really, he started doing the John Wick, I think it's called, which I haven't watched any of them. I watched scenes of it. But that, he does that type of, which is kind of like the same genre as that fantasy stuff, But you know what I did? I said, forgive me, I'm a little all over the place, but let me do this. This is what I did. I said, let me put some subject in to the search engine of his page, Godlogic Apologetics. Now, if he says, well, I want to debate you, well, I don't debate. I just tell you what's up. If you can't, if you ask me, we on 110th Street on Broadway, and you want to get to 125th Street, and I say all you got to do is go north, keep going, 15 blocks, and you hit, and then he'll say, nah, I don't agree with that. We're gonna have a debate on maps and directions. Do you think I'm gonna sit down and have a debate on maps and directions? I'm gonna say, well, if you can't see it, I told you what it is, but we gotta have no, we're not gonna have no debate about it. And I'm just gonna walk away, or ask him to walk away. I said, and maybe I'll say, look, buy a map, go to the sellers and buy, and that's what we're saying to you guys. Hey, the MOTB, I got to bring that in. When that thing is made mandatory, and it'll most likely be, because I don't know the time, the exact time when the Most High going to take this place out, but he's got to push forth the MOTB first. So now he might do it 6 years from now. We might be in this bitch another 6 years, which I highly doubt. I strongly believe that we are going to be, all the fulfillment of prophecy is going to come to pass during this administration. But it could go another 6 years. It could be a whole nother president. Kamala might run it. This time Kamala gets it. The first black Indian woman president. And her vice president is Hillary Clinton. But I believe strongly that too many things are happening, man. And U.S. just told, it would show you that the U.S. controls this puppet of Ukraine, because they said, look, you can now shoot long-range missiles. Now, ICBM put long-range missiles to them. So they're saying shoot missiles on Russia. So what do you think that's going to do with Russia? That thing is going to escalate, because they didn't get the memo to use those long range missiles. As a matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do? Let me do this. Let me do this here. Ukraine to shoot long-range missiles on Russia. Let's see what comes up. Okay, here we are. Okay, U.S. allows. What do you mean allow? A father allows his child to go out and play, right? How the fuck the U.S. is going to allow the Ukraine, which is different? That show you that they own that place. It says U.S. allows Ukraine to use long-range weapons in Russia, and Trump's, let me open this up. And none of these Christians are going into prophecy. They're not taking news and filtering it through prophecy. Godlogic is not doing it. Vocab Malone is not doing it. Matter of fact, Vocab Malone last night was playing old videos of me going back and forth with Tucker Carlson. And Tucker Carlson he's a big mouth. He runs his mouth. He shut his fucking mouth, man. Okay. Let me do this. And Trump's fentanyl plan. President, and then Biden, he's out of here in less than 2 months, so he gonna set shit off. He said, when you become president, it's gonna be a mess. Because President Biden has given Ukraine the green light to use long-range U.S. missiles for strikes inside of Russia. A U.S. Official. So Russia's watching this. They know that they gave the order. They allowed them. So we're already in the Third World War. And I told my super and the technical guy, I said, look, I said, are you familiar with the acronym MAD? They didn't. I said, the acronym MAD is mutually assured destruction. I said, that means Russia and America, because the super said, oh, Russia got more missiles. No. I said, they call the two, their superpowers because of their military might. If they were to have a war back and forth, it would destroy the whole planet. So they both know that. But guess what? They're going to have a third World War too. And I pointed up to the heavens. And that's when them eyes went to bucking. You can't tell us all this knowledge that we have. If you was to dump it on somebody, it'll bug them the hell out. But guess what? I'm coming hard. I'm dumping the truth on you now. Okay, if you can't see it, if you're mumbling, if you're not sure, I'm gonna dump the truth on you, right? There's no way in hell I would be there having a damn a debate with this guy. I'll tell him, I said, look, nigga, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You done memorize some scriptures, and you got a big audience of blind people that's following your ass. You know? And another thing that Christians do, they'll have debates, but they'll say, well, you can only talk on this. That big head motherfucker, what's his name? Vocab does this. And if you go outside of it, no, we're not having. Hey, if we're going to have a debate, we can debate in the scriptures. If I decide to speak about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, then we speak about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And then from there, if we 12, we're going to the 12. Oh, you can only speak. No, you're going outside of the thing. And that's a strongman argument. Let's look that word up. Strongman argument. Let me do this. All right, let me do this. What is a straw man argument? A straw man argument is a logical fallacy that involves misrepresenting an opponent's position to make it easier to attack. Yeah, it means that, but it also means to, let me do it this way. Yeah, this is a better definition. This is the definition that I wanted. A straw man fallacy or a straw man argument, sometimes written as straw man. Right. A straw man's argument is the informal fallacy of refuting an argument different from the one actually under discussion. This is why the Christians say, "Oh, we're going to have we're going to deal with these two topics, and we're not going to deviate from these topics." So if you go into something else, they're going to say, "Well, we're not talking about that now." So what they do is they might win the initial argument because they didn't say nothing about Israel. Well, they did go into the Gentiles, and the Most High saved the Gentiles, and Captain Tazarek did very good. He was on point, with them scriptures, and this guy Godlogic got stuck on. I didn't watch the whole thing. He got stuck on Romans chapter 11 about the wild olive tree, and then the Captain Tazarek cut him by going into Jeremiah 11:16, Jeremiah chapter 11, where it says olive being broken off. So then this guy couldn't see it. He wasn't ready for it, so he kept saying, "Oh, but they're not the natural." Yeah, they become unnatural because they got cut off. If you have, let's say you have 8 children, right? You go out in the woods. 3 of them, you lost them in the woods, and you figure they're dead, and they're raised up by wolves, and you find them 10 years later, They're wild. They're wild little kids. They're not natural kids. So you got to take them to school, and then you got to make them human again. You know, like I said, if animals take them in, they're not going to know how to talk. They're gonna run around butt ass naked. So that's what that means. So that's what Israel that was cut off, the branch that was cut off became wild. What does it mean? They followed these different, the different nations and so forth. And look at Jake in the hood. Jake be toting, nines and AKs. Well, AKs. I don't know where to get them guns from, man. AR-15s and stuff. And Jake be shooting each other out, shooting each other up. So these Jakes that you deal with, now you'd be a stupid idiot if you set up a camp right in some area, maybe in Chicago, where it's known for gang wars and shot. And IUIC did that. There's one camp somewhere, they're teaching in a gas station, and there's shots fired at them. And the shots is hitting the damn gas station pump, and you can see boom, boom. And I said, are these dudes stupid or what? And they still teaching. And I thought about the movie The Jerk with this guy. What's his name? Steve Martin. He's working at a gas station, and the cans of oil was getting shot at. Some crazy Edomite was shooting at him. And then he told the owner of the gas station, he said, these oil cans are defective. He said, no, they're not defective. He said, the guy shooting you is defective. Let's get out of here. Something to that effect. So that's what I thought of. I said, you don't go into the middle of a gang with motherfucking gunshots going off and whatnot. That's stupid. Anyway, let's get back into this. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in mark of the beast. So you see mark of the beast, right? Let's see if mark of the beast come up, because that's a major prophecy. Hebrew Israelites have heated debate with Christian evangelists. Debating Muslims, Sam Shimon. Why is Islam the truth? Muslim logic. Muslim this, Hebrew Israelite that, Muhammad. Where's the beast at? Nothing on the mark of the beast? I can put in the mark of the beast. Mark of the beast. Let's do this. The end of the world. Muslim is not in the Bible. Black Muslims. Here's the truth. Islam gets shook. Christian. No end of the world. Godlogic versus Captain of the Logic is Jesus God. Muslim, can Muslims defend this? Nothing on the end of the world. Now let me do this. Copy. And so we analyzing a lot of things now. We already gave you the scriptures. We done broke down everything to you. All the prophetic scriptures, we done broke them down. There's a thing called hermeneutics, interpretation of scriptures in not so many words. Okay, the end of the world. As Godlogic where is Babylon the Great? The Babylon the Great found in the book of Revelation. He won't tell you it's America. I can guarantee you that. The majority of Christians out there was not going to tell you it's America. There's a handful of Christians that are really into the Bible that will tell you that. Look at that. That's how many times? Okay, 109 times. Okay, this is what I want. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the actual phrase, the end of the world, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you got the world, you got the end. So all in all, you got 109 times we either the end, world, whatever, in 13 verses. And that's in the Old and the New Testament. Right, it says here, Psalms 19:4, their line is going out through all the earth. And when did that happen? When we got on YouTube, on the web. That's the World Wide Web. And their words to the end of the world, the other side of the world. In them had he set a tabernacle for the sun, which a satellite saddles the power of the sun. The fact that we can say something and it can go all over the world through a network, the World Wide Web, which is the web is a network, is power because it goes up in the satellite and it beams out to anywhere on the planet Earth, and it's powered by the sun. And so we're using that power. So it says the end of the world, so that's in the scriptures. So why don't they talk about it? Let me come back over here. So I put in the end of the world. Let me put in the last days. Nothing on the last days. It's all about having debates with Christians, with Muslims and Israelites. Nothing on that. So these Christians, when the destruction comes, they're not going to be ready for it. They're not going to be ready for it. So let me go to the scriptures. Well, Brother, I would talk about the last days if that was in the scriptures. Okay, well, let's see if that's in the scriptures. This is why you don't have debates with anybody. You just tell them what's what, and that's it. No, we're not debating. We're not debating. I'll give you 50,000. No, we're not debating. Now look at that. Let me do this. Okay, it's 40. Let me do it. Let me just count the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's in Old and New Testament. Okay, it says Hebrews 1 and 2 have in these last days. Nehemiah, first day unto the last day. But this is what we want. Let me just read some of these off. Gather my sons together that let me tell you which shall before you in the last days. Isaiah 2 and 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days, which is we're in the last days, that the mountain of Yahweh starting with when we out there, that Ezekiel 37, the bones coming up, that represents a mountain. Mountain represents biblically is a government. The mountain of Yahweh's house shall be established in the top of the mountain, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow into it. That's not happening with this current government. That's a secular government over there in Palestine. That's just all them guys when they get together. They have their cabinet meetings or whatever, the equivalent of Congress or the top military guys. None of them have beards. They wear European style suits, and none of them have beards. We're not even mentioning the fringes. It says Micah 4 verse 1, but in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of the house of Yahweh shall be established in the tops of the mountains. And that's on actually the second verse. That's on the other side of the monolith, which is the UN building. It's nothing but a monolith. Acts 2:17, and it shall come to pass in the last day, saith the Lord, I will pour out my flesh spirit upon all flesh. People are having visions and seeing things, man. Second Timothy 3 verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous time shall come. James 5 and 3. Your gold and your silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. That's the rich you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. That's a destruction. Ye have heaped treasures together for the what? The last days. That's why there's a what do you call it? A shift or transfer of wealth. The transfer of wealth is going to the small percentage of the super rich, and the people, the ragamuffin, the whatever you call it, the whatever, the ragamuffin, whatever. When that happened, that's when people, you know what happened? There was a shift. There was an exchange of monies, and the people, the masses of the people, they became poorer, and the super rich got even richer. That's a transfer of wealth. So who are the super rich? You know, the top elites. 2 Peter 3 verse 3, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lust. All the people that come up against us, they're scoffers. Vocab is a scoffer. Any of them are scoffers. But they're coming after us. We're not coming after them. So we looked that up. The mark of the beast is not. He doesn't do any. Didn't do one video on the mark of the beast. Didn't do not one video on the last days. Didn't do one video of the end of the world. And those phrases are all those phrases are all in the scriptures. And like I said, you look at okay, let me see. Look at that, over 100,000 views in 4 days. I mean, he's a celebrity. That's all he is. He's a celebrity. Hey, Paul said in Romans 11, least ye be wise in your own conceit. I'm going to look that up in a minute. Least ye be wise in your own conceit. You see, he got the arm folded. He's feeling himself. He talk like Jake in the Hood. He got the hat backwards. He's a celebrity Christian. And that's vocab is nothing but a celebrity Christian. He gets his views up when he puts anything to have to do with Israelites. They're going to go down hard and fast. And I don't see this guy making it unless he repent and he start teaching that he's an Israelite and he joins a camp. Let's say he gets with the ISUPK. That's good. Let him get with the ISUPK because they are teaching the truth. And I believe that there's elect among the ISUPK. And Sham Shaman, he's an Ishmaelite, so forget about him. So let me do this. Okay, let me just see what's in my notifications. See what's happening. Okay, let me see this. This is Timcast IRL upload. Democrats are finally realizing get woke, go broke. Identity politics don't work. It doesn't work. Right? Politics is Roman Catholics voted heavily for JFK because he was a Roman Catholic. Jake voted for Obama because Obama was a so-called black man. Really, he's a Hamite. Okay. Yeah, I got to watch this. Biden green lights, and I spoke about this in the beginning of the video. Ukraine to strike inside Russia, U.S. weapons. Hey, precept that come to mind, Jeremiah 49. The least, and I think it's also in either 50 or 51. Somebody help me, I'm not going to look for it. But it's in Jeremiah 49. Around about the 21st, 22nd verse, some odd verse. The least of the flock shall draw them out. God, the Most High, will put hooks in their jaws. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.